All right, we're going to cut some wood today, so we're going to start off by sharpening up our chain. I like to use this tool here. It's basically just like a disc grinder that has an angle. You set the angle for the chain, you go through, take off any burrs and straighten up the teeth, the cutting teeth on the chain, and then whenever you finish going one way, you flip it around, you set the angle the opposite, and you go through the chain that way. You can also do this with just a set of hand files that I do like to use in the field to straighten up, kind of using it like a honing rod in the kitchen. But whenever I actually want to get out and start cutting, this makes it a lot faster and a lot easier. All right, so we just flip this on. It has a little handle here, and you can see when you squeeze it, it locks that in place. And you just take off a little bit of the metal in there. You move it forward, 2 teeth, and you just run through the whole chain that way. Once you've gone through all the teeth one direction, loosen this up. You don't have to take the chain off or anything. Turn it back to the same angle over here. Flip this guy, and now you're moving the chain to the right instead of the left. And the grinder fits right down in there, just like this. All right, so the chain's sharpened, put back on, tightened up, and I've got the saw gassed up. The oil is filled, the chain oil. I'm gonna be traveling pretty light today. I've got my pack with an axe, two wedges, and the saw. I'm not gonna take fuel or oil with me because I'm only gonna drop like 2 or 3 trees, and one of them I'm gonna cut down with the axe. I'm not gonna be cutting them up. So I'm not going to need much more than 1 tank of fuel. I probably won't even need that. I'm going to get the bungee cords, strap the saw in, put the backpack on, and I'll be ready to go. All right, we're going to take down this oak tree to begin with, and we'll get started on that right now. All right, let's go. Timber! Put a wedge in the one side, opened up the gap a little bit, and just pushed the rest of that trunk over. The tree was dead and somewhat hollow in the middle, so it split vertically along the grain there. Easy breezy, one down. Now I'm gonna lay down a much smaller one using an axe. We're gonna get to work on this little oak tree here. It is much smaller than the one that we felled with the chainsaw. And the reason for that is because I'm cutting it down with a frickin' axe and I don't want to be up here all day. It has a nice little lean to it. We're probably going to try to lay it down kind of parallel to the bigger tree on the opposite side of the path. And I think with this one, we're going to do a time lapse because it's going to take a lot longer. All right.
Perfect. Look how easy it's going to be to cut logs off of that with it elevated. Not bad for an hour of work.